Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you an update. We're way behind in sharing with you all the progress on Gertrude. This is a 1968 Volkswagen Beetle Convertible, and this has been quite a challenge. Gertrude came to us fully disassembled, and the metal work was probably one of the worst conditioned cars we had ever had at Last Chance Auto Store. It was an abandoned project. It traded hands 2 or 3 different times. There's a lot of missing parts and a lot of ideas, and it's really coming together quite nicely. This is a special custom color, and this is a single stage paint. This is straight out of the gun. We haven't done any wet sanding or polishing yet. We'll be doing that a little bit later on. But it's very unique. The color combination is basically one of a kind. I think it's going to be really, really pretty when it's done. So basically I'm way behind in sharing updates with all the amount of work that's been done. So basically we'll just do a brief walk around on it. You can see we have the new chrome trim, the new clips, new door handle. We've got the really nice black grommets that fit around the handle. So you can see the nice detail work. There's basically 3 different types or 3 different quality levels of the chrome and trim. And Gertrude has all of the fanciest or the best trim you can get. It has the correct crest. There's only certain years that the Volkswagen crest belongs up here on the top and before the vent. We've done quite a bit of work on the hood and adjustments and that sort of thing. Tons of metal work were done before. You'll notice we don't have the hood shut all the way because we don't have the hood release cable hooked up yet. But you can see in terms of the detail, just a quick look, you can see everything is that custom light green color. And it's done just as smooth and shiny on the inside as the exterior. So we've got our Speedo head, we have our new glove box. There's a lot of components. The drawback to this, you can see this is the old, this is what we had kind of in the bin. So what makes a project difficult for us, or more difficult, especially in the rebuilding stage, and it's very time consuming, is because we're assuming that all of the parts the client dropped off will be usable and are correct for the car. But there was parts missing when it changed hands a few times. So when that happens, a lot of it is we're assuming they're usable parts and they're in bins and boxes, and as you pull things apart, you look at this where it's all, and it really stinks. It's basically it's an original, and it's a cardboardish glove box. It has the original lever and cable that's broken and damaged, which is really common. But this was the only one that was in the bin with all the parts. But we don't want to use this. It has that really musty, old, nasty smell. So if you can see, we have a reproduction, and I just want to put basically point just little things like that, like the glove box, the clips, the screws. There's little clips that go in here in the sides, and then there's trim screws. And not having those components makes it very, very difficult in terms of the reassembly. But those are the little pains we go through as we're doing the assembly or reassembly of the car. Just like the front, we're missing bumper brackets, and then there's basically we have one front bumper bracket, one rear bracket, but not for this car. The bend and the style is different. So we ordered new brackets. You can see there's one here, and we have the other one which was on back order that should be coming in tomorrow. And then we had 2 brand new back bumpers wrapped in plastic but no front bumper. So we're going through all the parts, and whatever we don't have, we want to make sure we get the highest quality or highest grade. So the front bumper should be here in the next day or 2, and it's the show quality triple plated chrome bumper, which will match the rear. So that'll be pretty smart looking. You can see we have the new grommets already in the front. We have our sealed beam headlights with the chrome trim rings. And then we're basically updating or tweaking or enhancing a few things. And you'll notice if the camera person comes onto the driver's side of the wheel, and this throws a lot of people off. What we're doing is we're making Gertrude look like a older period Beetle convertible. So what we've done is we've converted, in previous videos, we converted it from a drum to a disc brake conversion, but we also converted from the normal 4-bolt pattern to the older style 5-bolt pattern. So it's going to look like an older Beetle as opposed to a newer version. And then small little things, and they were on back order and hard to get, are these marker lights. So you can see, and our client wanted to go with the chrome, the German quality rubber, but then here in Ontario, Canada, they're supposed to be amber. So you can either go with an amber lens and a clear bulb, or what our client preferred to do is clear lens with an amber bulb. And it'll be quite a clean look, because that's going to go in there. And we've done some dry fitting, because basically we had to modify the fender to accept these small little marker lights. So all of the details that we had to plan ahead of time to get to this stage pays off, because when we're doing our grommet work and we're putting the trim on, it's just a really nice accent between this custom green and our black trim, and making sure that everything kind of goes together or matches. So these just finally arrived. It took quite a while for them to come, and they just came in today. Things like our suspension, master cylinder, steering, everything is as new in the front. So basically, you know, it's coming along quite nicely, the mounting and that sort of thing. As we come down the driver's side, it's a little bit tight here, but you'll see we have the beautiful running boards. They're the German reproduction, the highest quality running boards you can get. And then with the trim down the sides, you'll notice this is the wider trim, which typically happens with the older Beetle convertibles. The newer ones tend to go with the narrow. They're about half the width. But this is a really nice look, and it continues that style of the older looking Beetle. Even the antenna, we have the older style base antenna with the 2 holes going through, as opposed to the newer style, which would be up here. This is the older style antenna and the higher quality. Same thing with our mirrors, and then our door panels and all rubber weather strip is all brand new. There's still some adjusting that we're going to be doing to the windows once we get the top dry fitted and working on the convertible top. These are quite a challenge. You basically take the vent windows completely apart, you take the glass out, there's new rubber weather strip. They're very, very difficult to fit and to work properly. And then we've got rubber seals that get fastened and screwed into the windshield frame. So we have all of that dry fitted in place. We've got some dirt here from our lubricant that we use to install. These are extremely tricky to install, and they're a German rubber seal, and then the high quality trim on the outside with the rubber flaps both inside and out. We have our new handles and our proper grommets around the handles. These are the German quality. There's a harder version that's not as flexible, but these are the better quality ones. And then you can see the nice contrast with the fender, the fender welt being the traditional black against the green, which is quite smart looking. So visually from the outside, you've got the cream color rims that we custom painted, and then on the interior, which is quite lovely. And I think the camera person come around this way and just kind of look in, because we've done quite a bit of work. It never looks like very much when you're going around with the camera, but the amount of detail work that's involved to get to this stage is incredible. Because the carpeting kit, this is an oatmeal carpet that our client picked out. So I think it's a very rich, really nice looking contrast between this custom light green and this oatmeal interior. And you can see how well everything's coming together now. It's a lot of work. Just the rear quarter glass windows and the window regulators. We were dealing with a bunch of seized and rusted parts. They all need to be cleaned, lubricated. The window regulators were binding and not working properly, required bushing. So there's a lot of work just for the window mechanisms to go up and down, let alone installing and getting all the weather stripping in place. But once you have it all in place, it's looking quite nice. And then the dashboard, you can see the speedometer. We reconditioned the speedometer, and we have the odometer back to the original miles that was showing on the vehicle. We have the brand new windshield with the German seal around the windshield frame. And then you'll see we've got the hinges for our glove box, and we have quite a few components coming up into the dashboard. And then you'll see how nice the carpet looks with the beautiful binding. And then we've got the rebuilt pedals, everything painted correct, the satin black. And then you'll see the oatmeal carpet, how well it fits now, but when you get the kit, it never really fits as nice as we have it there. There's a lot of trimming that needs to take place for it to fit right, and then it's all glued in place. So that's quite a bit of work, and then you need to mark and measure and drill out and cut out the holes for the gear shifter. You can see we just dry fitted the seatbelt for the holes. That's now sandblasted, but we'll be powder coating that because we want the extra detail. And then you can see in the back we've got our sound deadener, and then we've got the beautiful carpet. It's the full kit where you have the carpet in the rear parcel shelf, the side wheel wells, and then obviously this section here will be covered with the rear seat with the bench, and we have the sound deadener, and then the battery will go on this side. So it's coming along quite well. And then we've got our, basically our seal going around the front hood. And then you'll see from this side we've got our nice rear view mirror that's black on this side, but on the inside is the off-white or more of a cream look. So there's a lot of attention to detail where you can see we've got the original cream looking to match the interior, but the back of it is the black. And then that black stands out with the nice rubber, and this is the high quality rubber on the outside. So it's coming along quite nicely, and we'll share with you another update. Once the bumper brackets and the bumper comes in, what we'll do is we're going to dry fit, because it's always a little bit of adjustment that's required for those. So what we'll do is we'll install the front bumper brackets in the front bumper, and then once we have everything assembled the way it should be, then we're going to disassemble those, and then we're going to sandblast them and have them powder coated. It's just a shipping primer that's on the brackets now, and the quality of the build, we want to make sure that we have those components powder coated. So this is Gertrude, the custom 1968 Volkswagen Beetle Convertible. Thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.